The thing about Detroit, though, is that it doesn't feel, as much as the Windsorians think it's like a frenzied city, it doesn't feel that way. It's more like again, Buffalo or Atlanta. It's not still not it's not even Toronto, because Toronto is not New York, but Toronto is not Windsor. It's not Detroit or Atlanta or any of those cities. And in fact, the way Toronto is getting now, the hyper development, movement. I can't remember the name of the festival I come for. Spotlight. I can get in. Well, it's one thing to go to before I head back across. Now I'm gonna be back. I'm in my hotel, in my bed. I want to have a bath. And this way I might actually have a bath.
So yeah, I think there is a here it's not.
I love that seat. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, it's I know you're gonna like. Thank you. Hi, welcome.
God, there's always somebody. Like, look at who? I don't know why it annoys me so. I mean, no, it's not that they couldn't come. I feel like there should be days when you're like, okay, this is the day. It's like doing Barbados at the film theater.
No worries.
And even if nobody comes, it's just a quiet place with a view.
All right, can I see the list?
So let me just search it up by exhibition. So we have like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, don't mind the format. I'm gonna make it nicer.
Okay.
Oh my God, have a great day. Hey.
Did you go through yet?
Yes, I think they went outside.
Okay, alright, cool. I'll see you in a minute.
See ya. Just because it's no listed, I know sometimes when it's okay, that's better. Okay, so this is every pack.
This is an app. I use Android, so I don't know how to scroll down.
No, it's okay.
I scroll
It was
down.
silly. I have to run a couple years.
I'm sorry.
No
I'm
worries.
just trying to scroll down.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, this piece here,
That one,
and there was one other. This is the one next to it.
and
Okay.
that was.
Okay.
And then what's your email? Can I close it?
Yeah, that's okay.
It's been a hectic couple
I know. I was here for the opening, and I didn't really get to see the exhibit, so I came
I
back.
know, most people
Yeah,
don't on
I
opening
came
day.
back. Yeah, it was crowded. That was good.
And what's your email, ma'am?
Yeah, it's J
An amazing artist who has been in installation here at the show.
Like, you're at the art.
Bringing the
You! I mean, are you one of the music, are you here for one of the music festivals, or is this who you are all the time?
This is who we are all the time, yeah.
So you are here for some
We live-
festivals too?
We live here. She's in town visiting, and we just did a party on the People Mover. I don't know if you got to see the party over at Breaktown, but we were just dancing. There's a great DJ over there.
Yeah, thank you.
It was really fun.
Somebody just told me to go to Spotlight a little bit later on. You know where that is?
We were there last night.
So probably this afternoon is an afternoon day party, tea
Yeah.
party, which is
Okay.
what I can handle because at this age, I just want to go home by
You
9
said
o'clock.
tea party?
Well, it's like, in the afternoon, a party, right?
That's a great
Is that where you
idea.
just
Do you remember that's what we used to call them when I was going in the 80s and 90s. We called them tea parties, and especially Sunday afternoons.
Yeah.
You'd even go to clubs, and then you go late in the morning, 3 a.m. You leave at noon, and then you go to another place at 1, which would be the tea party that just continues on.
Oh, I love
When I had more youth and stamina, I don't anymore. I need to go. I need to go to bed by
We're gonna
now.
have to have a nap before we go out, I think.
And you're going out again tonight, right?
Yes.
I love how you're like, oh yes, of course. I didn't come to town dressed like this just to kind of go home to bed.
and then the change happens.
What's,
Warm up.
what's your names?
I'm Jen.
Jen?
Caitlin.
Nice to meet you. I'm Douglas.
Douglas.
Guillaume?
No.
Gnome, like Chomsky. All right. I love this.
I know. It's a party animal right here. We have
Do you know if that's who you're named after, or that was just part of a tradition
There's a lot
culturally?
Of gnomes.
I know. Yeah. No, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy. Oh, I was gonna say anything, because I came in here. There's always somebody we hear. Anything you want to tell me about that I should
Yes,
know
I
about
will
this?
give you my spiel. Okay, so welcome to the Shepherd.
What's your name?
Kaya.
Nice to meet you. You're one of the curators.
No, I'm a part of the Library Street team, but I can't take curatorial.
Okay. All right.
It was actually done by one of our head directors, Tara and Jova from MoCAD. So this is the Shepherd. This is more of our community-oriented space, so everything is done through partnerships. The exhibition itself is a partnership, so that's done through MoCAD, and it's going to be a two-part one. This is part one, focusing on Charles McGee as an artist and his material choices. The second part will be at MoCAD once this is down. And that one's going to focus more on him as like a curator, community presence, organizer, so on and so forth.
Great.
Second partnership is these chairs that are not chairs.
Oh, they're called what chairs?
Design sculptures. They're just called design sculptures.
Oh, I thought you said they were not chairs or
There's
something.
not, yeah.
Oh.
Because a lot of people want to sit on them, and I know.
Oh, I see. You're saying they're not chairs. I thought that the name of it, the kind of design was they're not chairs.
That was kind of cool, though.
They're not. Oh, that's not kind of right. They're not. Because I was thinking, oh, what's a not chair?
Yeah.
One that you don't sit on.
Yeah. I should be like, it's not chairs.
I love
that's
it.
all. But that's also a partnership we did with Carpenters Workshop, who make one-off pieces like this with non-traditional furniture designers.
Great.
So we have a piece by Rick Owens, Virgil in there, and they're like kind of placed throughout the space. And then our last partnership is the Black Arts Library. So it's a collection of all different types of books on Black art and design. That's in the back left-hand corner. And that's pretty cool because all of the confessionals that were in here are turned into reading nooks now in that space over there.
So it used to be a Catholic church. And so the confessionals were where people came and did their confession and
Yeah, so
absolved
now
of their
it's
sins.
Still a moment of quiet and thinking and contemplation, just a different way.
Okay, it's funny. It makes me think about. I'm from Toronto, and they have an exhibition, Indigenous exhibition of it. I think it was in Monkman curated, and he had different Indigenous artists' work. It might have even been all his work. Anyway, it was quite powerful. And what they did, it was at the Royal Ontario Museum, so it was a museum space. But he had these little alcoves, which were like altars, and what he would have in them is these images of young Indigenous children, right, surrounded by priests or nuns or whatever. And what it evoked when you were in them was exactly what happened with the Catholic Church, and
I'll say, I don't know
the
what they're
doctrine
involved in, but it's, I don't know. In me, I'm a little terrified.
residential schools. No, and it was, but it was very evocative because
Do you have any left of these? Right? I said I'll wait until I leave last week to a dinner.
Fiorucci,
Fiorucci. The second person I recognized.
Fiorucci. I used to have a Fiorucci jeans back in the day
I was
because
just thinking, white. I had white ones back in the day.
I had just plain old blue denim ones, and then they had a little green. Remember they had a little green tag thing that was on them. That was, yeah,
I didn't know they did plain like.
blue. Yeah, I just got plain blue.
Okay.
Maybe where you are lived, you had lots of variety. We just got the blue.
No, I don't know where I got mine. It was in New York. No, I got it when I was still here. It must have been Chicago, 1979.
Well, see, Chicago.
They
You
had
had
it
more
at
options.
They had a Fiorucci store at the Water Tower.
Yeah, we didn't have a store. We just had a place that brought it in. I'm from Toronto, so that's what we had.
I'm from Toronto as well.
Are you?
I moved to Toronto. What are you doing here?
Detroit is just 4 hours away, or less than an hour by plane.
Did you fly or drive?
No, a train. I'm a train guy. It's like jumping a train.
So how did you get here from the? You took the train to Windsor.
Yeah.
And then you came across the border by bus.
Yeah. I'm staying in Windsor as well. I'm just staying, and you take the $10 shuttle bus over and run around by Lyft or Uber, and
You could go to the movement as well.
that's where I'm. When I'm going to a party, somebody just told me about a day party going on. I was schooling.
I did see some of them, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure they were.
And I was schooling them about tea parties when we were young on Sundays, going to afternoon parties that we called tea party. And they're like, tea party? And they're like, oh, that's such a great name. I'm like, oh, isn't that what y'all think? So I'm schooling some people.
Did you ever hear of a tea party before? They were the.
See, you know what I'm talking about, right?
We used to go when I was living in Paris at La Palace on Sunday afternoons for tea dance, and it was. You're not photographing me.
I am. I'm videotaping. I love these kinds of stories. I've done so many already, but I love
Just
this.
have to keep going.
Yeah, you gotta keep going. This is a great
So
story.
yeah, so we used to go there on Sundays and sometimes have a champagne brunch on
Yeah.
our way
Uh-huh.
to La Palace. So yes.
And I remember being in San Francisco and going out dancing. You'd go out at like 3 in the morning. You dance till 8 or 9 or 11, and then we'd go to the End Up and dance till late afternoon for their tea party. Right? New York, same thing. You'd go to the Sound Factory or Sound Factory bar.
The
And,
Everybody Buddy.
exactly. But
Pink.
I was young. Now I can't. They were telling me about parties at 11 till 11 tomorrow. I'm like, no, I did that. I'm not doing it anymore. I need to be in bed by 11. In bed by 11.
I don't mind 12. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's some times I've been to Benson. I've been living in Windsor,
Okay.
so it's like 20 minutes to get here.
Great. So you get the benefit of quiet and big city,
That's exactly it.
right?
So you're in the city, you're having a great time,
Yeah.
or just outside. Or
Yeah.
Where did we go? Like Detroit Symphony one night, and then we went to a restaurant afterwards, and then we went to a premiere of you have to go to the DIA.
I've been a few times.
Black
I've
artist
come in
from
and out.
Detroit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she. Why am I drawing a blank to her?
I just read about her today. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
She's fabulous. So that one opening was a couple
I
of
might
weeks
go
ago.
tomorrow. I might go tomorrow afternoon before I go to Movement.
In Movement, right?
Yeah. Because
They say it's sold out.
no, I got a ticket today on the train. I went online and got a ticket. It's not sold out. It's sold though. A lot of the well, if you want VIP life, those are sold out apparently. I just bought the basic. I am a Canadian. Yeah. I mean, my origin is
What is that?
Jamaican.
Right, of course. Okay.
What's your background?
I've lived in Toronto for years.
But what's your background? What's your heritage?
My mother, who passed away last summer, was Lebanese. My dad was Southern Greek.
What a great! I love that. I've been all the people I've been meeting lately are hybrids. Nobody's just like me. I'm just Jamaican. Everybody I meet is like a multi
That's Toronto.
stuff. It's fantastic.
I remember going to a party and seeing all these very unusually attractive people. I thought, wow, and I was speaking to this woman. I said, oh, where are you from? And she had like 17 different nationalities. And I
Exactly.
thought, oh, wow, you got a bit from here and a bit from there.
Exactly.
And just put it together in one elegant woman. It was just amazing.
Absolutely.
She wasn't the exception either.
But I keep saying to people that's what informs amazingness in the world. Is how can you not look through a lens of more?
I like that. But what Detroit has and Toronto doesn't have, I can think of a lot of things. Detroit has soul.
Well, let's.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good way to say this.
But you don't have that in Toronto.
No, it's not. It's not black enough.
And you know, I finally realized
Let's be
that
clear.
Detroit's so special is that number one, people don't give a shit what you think of them.
Yeah.
But not in I don't give a fuck way, just
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
And but also Detroit has a more working class mentality.
Yeah.
Socially,
Yeah.
economically. Where Toronto, how many people do you know have just not just 1 degree or have 2 degrees? We're overeducated. Then I found out Toronto is the most educated in the G7 countries.
Yeah. Not surprising.
Who
Yeah.
gives a shit though if you don't have this?
No, so. And it doesn't have the New York edge.
Oh, fuck New York. I always thought it was overrated.
Yeah.
I
mean, don't get me wrong. I'm there all the time because I love it. I love the energy. I love the whatever. But I'm appreciating being in Detroit, which I was saying that, just walking around saying, it feels relaxed and chill at the same time that it's got all of this soul, right? It's not like a heavy in-your-face kind of. It's, as you said, people are like going about their business.
Okay, do you know that Mies van der Rohe built a complex of, you know who Mies van der Rohe is?
Yeah. He has some buildings in Toronto, those famous blocks.
My
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
He did an area, the building that he did. I grew up in Windsor, but what did I do with my phone? Anyways, there's an area that Mies van der Rohe did dozens of townhouses.
Where's this?
Just in,
That'd be good to see.
off of downtown.
I may
Can't
not
miss it.
see it this trip because I came and there's so much that I realize you get here and it's like there's this and there's that and I'm like I can't do it all but I've got to come
Right?
back.
I just saw a New York Times article on Toronto, and I thought, is that it?
Leave my town alone. It is lots
I spent
going
40
on.
years. I spent 40 years.
Yeah,
there.
but there's a whole generation of young people not doing shit. Come
I've
on,
heard that.
come back.
I heard there's somebody. Yeah.
Come back and connect with people who can show you that there's shit going on. You see, and don't just stay downtown. That's what people do. They're staying in this little area and then they think, oh, Toronto is whatever. Get out of your comfort zone. And in
Where do you
fact,
live?
go. I am downtown, but I move around. I don't drive. One of the good things is don't drive.
sure you do.
When you don't drive, you just have to transit and move around and see stuff and stop and
That's
pause
just
and look
different.
around.
What, you do drive or you don't drive?
I don't drive. Because when you drive, you go A to B. You just go, I'm getting in the car and going here. Yeah, these are my buddies who didn't know what tea parties were and they love it.
Did I hear something about a tea party?
But before I get in there, what's your name?
Jamie, let me give you a card. Let me see if I.
Connecting.
Yeah, a Windsor. Are you a Windsorian?
Windsor Prince, check the Prince out,
What's your name?
Windsor, Edward Squire.
Edward. So you're buddies.
Lake from Windsor.
Friends from Windsor years ago. Jamie opened a gallery in Toronto years ago. Picked up stakes and now is living in Windsor.
What was the name of your gallery?
Angel, his last name. Angel.
I think I knew this gallery.
I don't have a fucking.
That's
I
all
have
right.
one business card from us, and you could have it.
Angel Gallery. It was at DuPont Street. Look at that from back. It's like a vintage card. I feel like I should put
Well,
this
it wasn't
in.
that long ago. Did I have the new?
1996, established 1996. So when did you
Yeah.
close?
Yeah, I was only 10. Give it back to
We
me.
were all only 10 at one point. We could all claim 10 at one point, right?
Someone was, I was thinking about something at my age, and I thought, I'll always be 27 at heart, and no matter what, that's a number that, and if you think that, then there's a better chance that you'll be engaged and curious.
200.
To 100.
7. Yes.
You're
He's
7?
a yoga master, so he's going.
You're a yoga master. Okay. But you're the Windsor.
Yeah, from Windsor, teaching now in San Francisco.
Teaching what? I thought you said
I'm here, but teaching in
Okay.
San Francisco.
Okay, I thought you said
Like remote, virtual, or you travel back and forth?
I'm on the way there
Okay.
via Memphis. And,
Oh, nice. Nice. Look at this. Detroit's got eclectic fucks. It's like, what's going on? I need to come here more often.
know that, right? Where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
New York originally.
How long have you been in Detroit?
3 years. Yeah, so I'm still, they would say I'm not from Detroit, so.
Well, I met these people that did the coffee for last Saturday.
Yeah.
And he's from New York and he moved to Detroit. Why did you move here?
My roommate in college was from Detroit, and I actually wanted to go to Chicago because I want to do like city building and community organizing. And he was like, "Well, Chicago's dying." He was like, "You should come to Detroit." Yeah, and I came and I saw all them abandoned buildings, and I was like, "I'm coming."
It's hard to be here. So COVID, you moved.
Right after.
Right after.
Do you
I hope that you got
No, I'm
this
taking.
charging, don't you?
No, I'm just. Yeah, I said bye. He was saying bye to me. He thought it was about him. What's he doing? Good T-shirt, man. Look, he's getting a photo. He wants to get everybody. Where are you? Where are you? Come in here.
thank you for the
Come in here.
Get in this picture.
work it out.
All right.
Let's do this.
Wow. Yes, Purple Rain.
Okay, you guys rock. I love it.
Is this the vibe in Detroit all the time?
No.
Yeah.
You Detroiters who live here, it's like this all the time, right?
It's like
Yes.
wherever
energy.
we go, you know?
Yeah, you bring it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not this weekend, I don't
Are you here for the
think, but there's a
festival?
lot of like queer parties.
I came for a diaspora music festival that's happening at the same time, and then I found out that the movement's happening, and then I saw DJs I want to see, so I was like, okay, I'm getting tickets for that. So I'm gonna try to see both. It's Eastern something, Eastern Park.
Market?
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, yeah. And one of my friends is DJing, so he said come through, and so I came for that. And then it turns out, then there's also movement,
That is a
and then I see fashion, and I can't. Like, look at this. But just the specialness of that little detail. Is there, who's that? Did you make that yourself?
Thank you. No, I didn't. I just bought it.
Who? Do you know who it is by?
It's by this Korean brand, the Open Project, but now they're called Open YY.
I swear to God, Korea.
I know Korea's on
Yeah,
something.
they-
This is Korean too.
I was just
You
in
know-
Seoul, and the shit that's going on there is amazing.
Why are you so familiar looking to me?
I don't know. I'm Todd.
Okay, you just look like people. You know, we all look like somebody. We all look like somebody. There's some people who've met people that look like us, right? That's what you reminded me of. But you were there and you loved it.
Loved it, man. I mean, you know, I was in Japan and I went to Seoul and was learning. I was spending a lot of time learning about. I grew up in Asia. So
Right.
I went back to try to.
Where in Asia did you grow up?
I was born in Hong Kong and then lived in Shanghai, Tokyo,
Brilliant.
Taipei, and Berlin was the one Western country that I grew up,
Wow.
lived outside
Amazing.
the States. So.
How do you think it's shaped who you are and influenced who you are?
I was talking to Marissa about this a little bit, but I think that it made me curious about other people's lived experience, and I never take anything for granted, and I can always sort of suspend judgment and my own sort of perspective and try to adopt someone else's, because
Right.
that's just survival, you know.
Yeah.
When you're shifting context all the times, you can't afford to come in with a preconceived notion of anything.
How about you? What city shaped you the most?
I'm shaped very much by this country, Jamaica. I was born and grew up in Jamaica. And I mean, I've lived in Toronto, Canada now for 40-something years. I went there when I was 16. But my dad was very insistent when I was a child in Jamaica, because my mom moved with her new husband and my younger siblings, and she wanted me to join them. And my dad was, my bio dad back then was like, nope, I want you to get a foundation here. And I was annoyed and upset because my mom was I was like, I'm a mama's boy. And so I was like despondent really that she wouldn't allow me. But you know, now later on, I get it. As you're saying, it's really given me a sense of groundedness and a sense of a point of reference and a way of connecting things. So like wherever I'm in the world, and I'm always amused when people make comments or things about. So one of the things was when I first moved to Toronto or in Canada, was this whole idea of like, oh, do you have fire trucks there? And I'm looking at people like, we had the first electricity in the Western, like, what?
Yeah.
Like just things that you grow up just being have a sense of, a strong sense. I think also being in a black dominant country too was really helpful. Just have a sense of like, of course I'm like everything like anybody can be, even as I was in environments where they were, this is what black people in North America deal with. I grew up somewhere where, there were other things, don't get me wrong, other layers. But so I think that created that, right? And then as I began to, Toronto is also important because it's such a, have you ever been to Toronto?
I've been to Toronto,
Yeah.
yeah. Just in and out though.
Very diverse, you can eat like across the world, just walking around the city. And so that also opens up like your experience of just this wider sense of the world. And, so my gaze, just like the things that engage me, are provoked by the fact that there's not just a singularity, right? There's a multiplicity, and then inside of each thing is intersectionality, right? Because I'm not like every other Jamaican, just like you're not like every other person. What's your background?
I'm half Chinese and half Vietnamese, but I was born in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, what do they call it? Transnational hybridity, and yourself as well.
Well, and what you were saying about what Jamaica afforded you in that sense of groundedness is actually what I've been looking for, because I have been shifting and adapting so frequently that I've never had a sense of groundedness.
Right.
In search of that, I moved back to Philadelphia, which is where both my parents are from, and trying to kind of connect with that, and that's where I met Marissa. So.
Great.
Yeah. What's your name?
Douglas.
Douglas. Todd.
Todd.
Nice to meet you, Douglas.
And yours?
Marissa.
I know you said it a few times, right? But you know what I love about what you said? Because a lot of times when I'm in Toronto, I was actually going for a walk yesterday on one of the wonderful streets on the city, and I just kept meeting all the different people, and I met somebody from, Korea, I met someone from Portugal, met someone who his parents are South African and Trinidadian, and then I went to this Brazilian place that had great Brazilian food, and so, and the Spanish place across the way, and everybody I encountered, I was struck by having a conversation with them, and also some people were Filipino and something else, and we were having these conversations. Another woman who was from Singapore, But her parents, one parent's from India, one parent is Indian from Singapore. See, just this constant,
Bengali friend who grew up in Singapore.
right? And this when so you meet those people. But the thing I always say, like with yourself, because of where you grew up in that experience, the way you look at the world is. You want to even overuse the word nuance, but like you come to things, as you said, with a much more open sense of what I'm looking at can be interpreted in lots of different ways, and your imagination of possibility, right, is expansive because you've had that opening. Even as you're looking for where do I land? And maybe it's great that even that search is a helpful way to be in the world, right?
Well, I'm still searching. I just need to continue to search from a place of groundedness, both in myself. So,
Well, we
Anyway,
are on
go see the show.
we're on a schedule.
Are you here for music festivals too?
Yeah, we're here for movement. Marissa is also a DJ.
Oh, you are
that I
DJ.
made for like a party that I do in Philadelphia. But
Oh, good. So if I'm ever through Philadelphia,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
hit us
hit
up.
you up.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to meet you both.
Nice.
Enjoy.
Pleasure.
I think my knee, I need to ice it. My knee is like swollen after dancing too hard last night, and I'm gonna rest it, ice it, compress it.
All right, we'll see you at Menjo's later.
Oh, Menjo's is another place to go.
Yeah.
At what
Where are
time?
you from?
I'm Toronto.
Okay. Canada in the house. Got it. All right.
Menjo's. Okay.
Menjo's. For club toilet.
Club toilet.
Yes.
That starts at what time?
Jen, what time does club toilet start? 10.
10. Okay.
10.
Oh.
Be there, be square.
I might need to be back on the bus heading to my hotel room for tomorrow. A big day tomorrow.
No, you're gonna be at Menjo's later.
Okay. All right. Okay, gentlemen. Great to meet you.
What is your name?
Douglas.
Douglas. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
give back my card?
No.
Edward.
Edward.
Oh, it's so what a small world. I'm surprised our paths ever crossed in Toronto.
It might have. We've just both forgotten. It happens.
We're unforgettable.
Fiorucci.
Unforgettable.
Gucci. Poochie. Fiorucci. Oh my God. Will I ever get into this place and see the show? I'll have to come back and hear the rest of her sing. Okay, I'm gonna go this way and work my way back. Oh my God, this is such a great space. Oh, there's an upstairs? Will I ever get through this?
Do you have an Instagram or a
Yes.
way to stay in touch?
My Instagram is CLOGLO. And I'm the only, that's me, Clo-Glo.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll get your info from Marissa and
Great.
DM you. But
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too,
Yeah.
you too.